It's go time. Back on the PCT for a 3-day, 65-mile hike going around Mount Adams and through the Goat Rock Wilderness. Going to be some epic views, very fall-like weather. Down below, it's going to be like in the 70s, I believe, during the day, like 50 at night. But up where I am, which is in the anywhere from the 4,000 to 7,000 range elevation, it is going to be in the 50s during the day and right at freezing at night. So it's going to be chilly. Going to remind me of winter on the Appalachian Trail back in February and early March this year. But it's going to be epic. Seen some views of Mount Adams already. Here's the first bridge I'm crossing. With a nice little creek running through. Gorgeous. But so far the trail is absolutely beautiful. Soft and pine needles and cushiony. I believe that the total elevation for the 65 miles is about 11,500. Not a whole lot of elevation. It's going to be about, 4,000 a day if you look at it that way, but most of that will be today and tomorrow, not the third day. It's a pretty good climb up to the Goat Rock Wilderness where Old Smoky Mountain is, and it's chilly up there. Not Old Smoky, I'm sorry, Old Snowy. Old Snowy Mountain. There's still snow up there, and it's wide open, but it's definitely chilly way up north here in Washington. So even in summer, you still have the cold temperatures way up north, especially when you're up high in the elevation. So be hitting that probably tomorrow. Gonna try to time it where getting into Goat Rocks early in the morning, so see what happens. But as of right now, the weather is perfect. Nice hiking weather, nice cool temps, and can't wait to see the views today. Really looking forward to these 3 days, getting those juices running again. First long hike, if you want to call it that, backpacking section hike, however you want to say it, that I've done since the injury on my foot and ankle. So definitely looking forward at getting this moving. I've been climbing some mountains and getting the body moving, and everything seems to be working in good condition. But this will be the test today and tomorrow and the next day. But it's going to be epic and beauty. And this will also take care of the section one of the sections I was not able to do last year on the PCT because of the wildfire. So this will mark that 65 miles off and lessen what I have to do to finish the PCT on my journey to finishing the Triple Crown. But as you can probably see, it's a little cloudy here. Funny thing is, it's sunny everywhere. For some reason, the top of this little pass right here has a big cloud over it. So it actually made it warm up, because it was 39 degrees it showed. And once I got under that cloud, it was about 45. And that was another 2,000 feet up in the air. So that cloud's probably insulating a little bit, keeping it a little bit warmer. But I'm thinking that that's going to move out, and it's going to be a really nice sunny day. But who knows? We will find out. For now, let's keep on going. Entering Mount Adams Wilderness. And then I believe once Mount Adams Wilderness ends is where Goat Rock Wilderness begins. But basically, right over there, on the other side of those trees, is Mount Adams. We're going to get some really good views of that here in a little bit, but that's one of the big volcanic mountains here in the Cascades of Washington, in between Mount Rainier and Mount Hood. Not sure right off the top of my head of the elevation, but I think it's around 12,000 if I remember right. I think, see now I'm thinking 9,000. It's definitely taller than St. Helens, now, present time, not pre-1980, but and I can't remember if it's above Hood in elevation or right below Hood. Hood is right around 11,000. Rainier is 14,000 and something, and some change. But nonetheless, it's one of the big volcanic mountains of the Cascades, and it is beautiful, and we're going to get some great up close video and pictures of that, so you can enjoy it with me on this 3-day long hike, if you want to call it that. I wouldn't call 65 miles a long hike, but I guess it's a long hike for the average person. But for me, it's just dipping back into the through hike and the 20 plus miles a day to kind of make my soul feel good. Going through withdrawals, and helps me ground myself and give me peace and serenity, which I could definitely use right now. Not for a bad reason, just, I have another video about it, that post-trail depression and anxiety, definitely a real thing. Definitely with the sensory overload happens a lot, so definitely need this, and you will see in the next couple days of videos, Lord willing, with the views and, cloud cover, hopefully get some nice clear days, because it's some of the most epic views of the PCT that we're going to be seeing here together. So I can't wait. Right now it's a beautiful forest. Every bit as beautiful as everything else, just in its own way. No bugs to speak of yet. Like I said, it's pretty chilly. I mean, it doesn't feel chilly. Feels absolutely perfect, but a little chilly for bugs. Might see some mosquitoes here a little later today, but it's a little late in the year, so I kind of doubt it, but I'm always prepared. Got the DEET just in case. But for now, just keeping on this track and seeing where this section of the PCT will take me, and take you as well. So peaceful. Can't hear a thing except the occasional bird and the ringing in my ears. Just what the doctor ordered. Here was a little bit of an ascent, a couple 100, 300 real quick feet. Nothing super steep, but definitely the steepest of the day so far. Still going up. I don't know if you could see it on the video, but that was the first time that I sweat today. Sweat? I don't know. But my heart started getting racing. So I stopped, drank some water. Nothing bad. Just, the elevation. I'm about 4,500 feet up right now. Gets up to about 5,800. before it drops again a little bit. Once it gets up, it stays up for quite some time, and you know, little descents and ascents along the way, but just kind of climbing up to around 6, and it'll stay there for a good portion and get up to 7 in Goat Rocks. But you definitely feel it, not because of the climb, but because of the ascension. Less oxygen up here, so feeling that a little bit. Talking while walking, and I have a pretty good pace going too. Kind of slowing down right now because I'm talking on the video, but I have a pretty good pace cranking out. Most of it's been super gradual. PCT on average is a 10% grade, so it's never too bad. Little spurts like that here and there, but that's about it. So continuing on, got about 3 miles, and then it starts wrapping around Mount Adams. Very beautiful and stunning, all the colors. Some kind of berries over there. Looks like maybe a burn came through here. Well, not maybe, definitely a burn came through here. Don't know when. But you definitely have new growth and beauty all around. Oh, man. Just cannot get enough of the beauty of nature. About 5 miles and 2,000 feet of elevation in for today. As you could see, it's getting quite a bit more exposed. Definitely no cloud cover now as the sun is beating on me. Mild temperatures, cool temperatures actually, not too bad either way, either cool or warm. But that sun's still pretty intense, so base layer came off and t-shirt went on. Coming in here to the base of Mount Adams, I was hoping to keep it on for a little bit longer, just in case it got cool again in the forest, but I was just getting a little too warm and sweaty, so it came off. But definitely here at the base, here in the next 3 miles, I believe it's 1,200 more feet, and then it kind of goes down a little bit. So I think that puts us around 4,800 right now. But here, again, right at the base of Mount Adams, I don't know if you could see it, but her and all her beauty and majesty is shining through in between the trees, walking right towards that base, and then it's going to take a turn north. And And then I'm gonna walk right around the mountain on the west side. So should be some epic views over there. All right, continuing on. Off to the west, epic view of St. Helens. The cloud cover getting most of it except for the peak. You could see all of those other mountains surrounding. Have the same thing, the cloud low. I don't want to say low, probably about 6,000, maybe as low as 4,000. Beautiful, epic views. That might open up more as I get closer to the open ridge. But if you come this way, you could see it right there. That's Mount Rainier. I'll be walking towards that for the next, well, 2.5 days now, 2 3/4 days. But then if you come over here, and this is heading towards the south, and all of these will probably be much more open later on. But right through there, if you can see it, that's Mount Hood. It's about 50 miles away. And like I said, these will open up quite a bit more in a little bit, I'm thinking. But that's the first good view of all of them. And right here at the base of Mount Adams. Yeah, baby. Came off the trail to climb this little rock pile, for lack of better terms. And that was Mount St. Helens. Over here, still at the base of Mount Adams. Epic views today. Not a whole lot open yet where you could get everything with no trees, but I think in about 2 or 3 miles it opens up when I get on the other side, or maybe the more west side. This is kind of the southwest side right now of Mount Adams, so maybe when I get more to the west side, it looks like it might have some open views. But over on the other side of all of that, there's a bunch of that low cloud cover, kind of like you have over here with St. Helens. And the other mountains out there, Mount Hood is over here somewhere behind those trees. But over here, right over there, is some low cloud cover with some pointed rocks coming up. And I am pretty sure that's part of Goat Rocks Wilderness, which is where I'm heading. And going to be pretty epic, especially if it's nice and sunny like this tomorrow. It's going to be some epic views you can see for miles right now. No haze. The rain has made the trail perfect as far as, moistened it, I guess is a good word for it. Basically, so that gives good traction, catches with your each step. But right here, you got a little fire damage up here, but the trail's down there. Like I said, I just climbed up here because I'm going to eat some little lunch. I don't know if you want to call it lunch, but a little snack or something, some combos and some peanuts probably. And then continue on, won't sit too long, just to get a little food in me. And then it's going to start wrapping around Mount Adams and start heading towards Goat Rock Wilderness, which is over in that area. And there's some pretty high peaks over there. 3 or 4 of them, I think, that's at the 7,000, maybe 8,000 range. I only climb Old Snowy if I decide to go that route. That's an alternate route around the PCT. But that one is around 7,200, I believe. So I'll be climbing that one probably tomorrow if everything goes according to plan. But right now I'm going to eat a snack. It's beautiful out here. Couldn't ask for better days after some cloudy and rainy days the last couple. It's kind of got rid of that humidity and cleared things up. I don't know if you can see the flies, but the flies are out now. Gonna get that sun baking in for the next couple days, and whoo, it's just gonna be epic. Here's a nice open view with the clouds over those smaller mountains. And you're coming this way, heading north now. And there's Mount Rainier. That's still a long way away. 70, 80 miles of trail, so maybe 50 miles at least as the crow flies. That just shows the gigantism, I think I'm saying that right, the enormous size of that beauty. It's over 14,000 feet. I think it's in the top 10 of elevation or heights of in the lower 48. Just a few hundred feet behind Mount Whitney, which is the tallest in the lowest 48. That is a beauty. Someday I will climb that. But that, my friends, is some mountaineering there. And I'm doing the top summits of each state. And that is for Washington. But the ones that are mountaineering, which there's about 4 of them, I will be saving those for last because I definitely want to get some more experience mountaineering before I ever try that, because I don't have much experience in that. Definitely my weakness, going vertical. But it's a beauty. Going to be getting closer and closer to it. Impressive little corner here. That's Mount Rainier. And down here is the base of Mount Adams, the forest that's not burnt. And if you could see this over here, I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but right there above that tree line, that is Goat Rock Wilderness. Some of it is in clouds, but oh my goodness. That is pretty awesome. I've heard that it was very similar looking to the Sierra, and that looks exactly like the weird cuts and angles of the top of the mountains in the Sierra. So I cannot wait to get over to that tree line to be able to see that even better, because that is pretty epic. But then you come over here, and again, that's Mount Rainier, but right here at this corner, we look up and we see the other side of Mount Adams. A lot more snow on this side than there was on that side. It's not really the north side, I don't think. I think it's more like the maybe northwest side. Pretty epic. Just walking along, minding my own business. And looking to the left, looking to the right, looking at the mountains, looking at the forest. It's such a beautiful, beautiful day out here. But then all of a sudden, as I was looking behind me, I look straight ahead, and there's one of the biggest coyotes, if not the biggest coyote I've ever seen, ran right across the trail right in front of me. In fact, it was so big, at first I thought it was a wolf. And then I realized the coloring and, you know, just with the shape of the head and everything, definitely was a coyote. But man, was it gorgeous. So I thought, I better do a video clip here just in case it runs out behind me. Y'all get to see that, because of course it ran out when I did not have the camera out. Going from shade to sun, so getting more into the forest here. Probably a little more wildlife running around and having fun, getting to that warmer part of the day. Probably only mid 50s, low 60s at the highest, not too bad, but man, was it gorgeous. I still have never been able to get a coyote on video. They always elude me. I see them, they see me, then they take off before I can get a camera. But anyway, it sure was a beautiful, beautiful animal. Glad I got to see it. Nice little section of lava rock, volcanic rock, whatever you want to call it. Mount Adams behind all the trees there. Just winding around Mount Adams right now. I think it's about 2 or 3 miles and kind of out of the base of it and walking away from it, northerly going towards Goat Rocks. Before that, I do have to cross Adams Creek. And that is the main runoff for all the glacial water on Mount Adams. Man, all these rocks. Just a precursor to what I'm going to see in Goat Rocks, I'm sure. Beautiful. So many different types of terrain already today. But nice little campsite right here. I'm not ready to stop though, so I will keep on going. Really beautiful, beautiful day too. But yeah, I have to cross Adams Creek. That might be really high. A lot of times the main runoff. I've crossed a couple other ones already, smaller ones. They weren't bad at all. But Adams Creek is the main runoff from the glacial water, glacial snow up there. And obviously there's still a lot of snow. The sun's shining today, so it's going to be melting and running off. And if you're not familiar with that, when you have a glacial runoff, a creek coming from a very high mountain like Mount Adams, you are going to have higher, deeper water with probably faster running water in the afternoon than you are in the morning. So if I'm able to cross it today, I'm going to keep going. But if I cannot cross it because of being too high and too rough, I will have to wait till the morning when it will be much lower. So we'll see here in a couple miles what that will be like. So beautiful. About 6,000 feet up right now in elevation. Been dancing around that elevation for the last few miles. goes up, goes down a few hundred, but staying around 57 to 6,000. It's going to start going down here probably in a couple miles. And I think it gets down to almost 5,000 before my day's over. Rocks everywhere. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's some rocks in the trail, but not a whole lot as of right now. Just a lot of rocks along the sides of the trail. It's kind of cool walking in and amongst all this. That sure is a lot of snow on this side of the mountain. This is one of the runoffs. Not too bad at all. That's going to be easy to cross. But the next one is the one that's supposed to be, you know, intense because it is the main runoff. And as you can see, there's a lot of snow up there, which means on a sunny day like today, it could be running pretty good. And I think it rained yesterday. So we will see. But I will tell you, it's starting to get chilly again. Up to 6,000, maybe because I'm in the shade more and I'm not climbing quite as much now, but I'm hoping that it's not too bad so I can cross it today and not have to wait till the morning, because I still have another 8 to 10 miles in me. So hopefully that's the case. All right, let's continue on. So that's not happening. I spent about a half an hour walking up and down east and west, I guess, along the creek. That one's a creek. The last one was a river. Go figure that one out. Easily rock hop the other one. This one, rushing waves. Knee to waist high in several spots. Pretty much anywhere that I could cross. There's no rocks that I could see that I would be able to rock hop. They're all covered up. They're there, but they're covered up because of the time of day. It's about 3 o'clock. The logs are there, but they're broken, so you can't even like grab to hold onto because they're there, and then they are not there for part of it, and then there might be another one on the other side. Man, it just with it rushing with that much force. If you've watched my videos at all, you know that's like kind of where I draw the line, because I'm not a great swimmer. I'm not even a good swimmer. I can hardly swim at all. I just never really did that much in my life. I like to stay above the water, or in a hot tub, or on the beach, not in the water, or in the water just to cool off. I have my rules. No, I'm joking. I don't have rules, but yeah, I don't cross creeks that could knock me over easily and send me down. The good thing is it's not real steep. So even if it pushed me down, it's just going to get me soaked, but it's so cool up here. I don't want to get soaked. So in the morning, it will definitely be better. So unfortunately, I'm going to stop and camp now. Set up camp. Unfortunately, I'm losing about 3 hours here. So figure 2.5 miles in those hours. I have about 7.5 miles that I'm going to have to make up in the next 2 days. Might be tough in Goat Rocks. Find out. Because I only have the 3 days available to do this. So I have to get from one end to the other. 66 miles. That creek is the only thing stopping me from going on. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen this afternoon. The other problem is now I have to go back because there's a couple camp spots here. I mean, this is like really tilted. This is the only thing that's in the trees. Everything else is out in the open in the rocks. And I guess that doesn't matter to me as long as, it's not that windy, so that's okay. But as long as I'm close to water. And I'm not close to water. I mean, I'm close to water there, I guess. But but I had to walk back already 2 or 3/10 of a mile already. So I got to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to stay here closer to where I can cross that first thing in the morning, or I could go 4/10 of a mile backwards to the other creek, and there's some tent sites there. So I'm going to figure that out, but at the end of the day, it's the end of the day. I'm going to set up camp, eat some grub, go to bed early, get up stinking early, and get started. Hopefully it won't be too bitterly cold, because I am up 6,000 feet in the air, so I mean, I could stay warm. I'm not worried about that. It's just in the morning getting going. Sometimes that slows me down on getting going as if it's really cold. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the views as much as I did. Probably not as much as I did, but that's it for tonight. We're going to get at it first thing in the morning. I'm hoping that creek is a little lower. Live life.